Ever stumble upon a life hack so good it feels like you've unlocked a cheat code?
Hmm.
That's kind of what we're diving into today with Checker.ie.
Okay.
It's this website, actually, you sent it over, that's supposed to help anyone living in Ireland, navigate life here like a pro.
Yeah. It's definitely seriously comprehensive.
Right.
From managing your money to actually like starting a business, Checker.ie seems to cover it all.
Seriously, it's amazing. Let's start with, I guess, something everyone needs help with. Saving money.
Yeah.
I saw in the personal tab there's a whole section called unlocking savings.
Right.
Anything in there catch your eye?
Definitely. Yeah. Checker.ie really highlights this SEAI grant program, which honestly feels like free money.
SCAI.
Oh, right.
So there's of us who just moved here and aren't familiar.
The Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland. So the SEAI basically offers grants to homeowners in Ireland to help cover the cost of upgrades that make their homes more energy efficient.
Okay.
Things like insulation or heating systems upgrades or even solar panels.
Wow.
And Checker.ie does a really good job at breaking down like the potential savings and who's eligible and all that.
So not only could you have a comfier, greener home, but you could end up saving a ton on your energy bills.
Exactly.
Talk about a win-win.
Exactly. And that's just like one thing. Checker.ie also goes into all these smaller everyday saving strategies too.
Oh, okay.
Like they even have a whole section on understanding those like loyalty programs and reward schemes you see at different supermarkets and shops.
Oh, right,
You'd
right.
be surprised how quickly those little discounts and points can actually add up.
Yeah, it's all about being a little bit more strategic, I guess, not just with those big expenses, but those smaller recurring ones that people don't always think about.
Yeah, exactly. For example, they highlight using a programmable thermostat.
Yeah.
Like that's something most people probably don't even think about.
Yeah.
But just setting your heating to automatically adjust, based on when you're home and when you're not,
Yeah.
that could seriously reduce your energy bills.
It's those little tweaks that can really make a difference in the long run.
Exactly.
Did they mention anything about transport costs?
Oh, yeah,
This
definitely.
can be brutal here.
They cover both the tax saver commuter ticket and the bike to work scheme, which are both great. So with the tax saver ticket, you essentially get a discount on your daily commute just by paying for your transport pass, whether it's a monthly or annual one, through your employer.
Right.
And then the bike to work scheme basically lets you spread the cost of a new bike and any safety equipment you need over an entire year. And you also get tax relief with that too.
I actually haven't looked into that since I moved here.
Yeah,
That sounds like a good way to, get back into cycling and ditch these petrol costs.
totally. And speaking of savings for certain groups, they also have this really comprehensive guide to student discounts, which is really, really useful for anyone in Ireland on a tight budget.
Now, that's what I call looking out for those who need it most.
Yeah.
But let's say, okay, you're past your student days and you're feeling a little bit entrepreneurial.
Hmm.
Checker.ie also has a section about starting a business in Ireland, right?
You do, yeah, and they really get into it. They
Yeah.
have this thing called the Irish Business Launchpad, which is exactly what it sounds like. It walks you through every single step of launching a business in Ireland.
So whether you're, just toying with an idea or you're ready to make the leap, this Launchpad kind of gives you that roadmap.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having a little business mentor in your pocket guiding you through, things like market research or actually writing a business plan and even just understanding the legal stuff when you set up a business in Ireland.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of support systems do they highlight in this Launchpad?
Okay.
Because, starting a business, I imagine, can feel very overwhelming.
Oh, totally. And that's honestly where this Launchpad thing is really helpful. They highlight this thing called the Innovation Voucher Program, which, have you heard of that?
No.
Okay. So it's basically a government program that helps new businesses connect with research experts.
Oh, wow.
So you can have access to cutting edge research and development to, help your product or your service or whatever you're selling.
That's like having a secret weapon in those early stages. I
Right.
can see how that would be so valuable, especially for startups that are really trying to, get ahead of the game.
Exactly. And they get into other types of support too,
It's like having a little team of cheerleaders behind you,
totally.
guiding you through this whole process, which can feel like, oh my gosh, where do I even begin?
Exactly. Yeah. And Checker.ie doesn't stop there. They also break down how to choose the right legal structure for your business,
Right.
which is obviously a really big deal for any entrepreneur.
Right, and I imagine that's where it gets a little fuzzy for people who are, first-time business owners,
Yeah.
sole trader versus limited company, and all this legal jargon.
Totally. Yeah, Checker.ie does a great job at laying it all out really clearly, like the pros and cons of each. And they even have these examples so you can really see like what each choice actually means for you, which I thought was really helpful.
Yeah, it's all about making those informed decisions,
Exactly.
especially when it's something as important as, your business. But we can't forget about the perks.
Right.
I'm sure Checker.ie doesn't miss an opportunity to point out, you know, those potential financial benefits.
Of course not. Yeah, they have a whole section on government grants and tax relief programs like that are available for new businesses. For example, they go into detail about the Start Your Own Business Relief,
Mm.
which can really help reduce your taxes like in those first few years when you're just getting started.
So they really are covering all their bases there.
Totally.
From the nitty-gritty of setting up shop to navigating the world of taxes and all that stuff, which can be very confusing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. And speaking of comprehensive resources,
Yeah.
they also cover a topic that so many people find kind of, um, shall we say, less than thrilling.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Pensions.
Pensions.
Yes.
Okay, they're not exactly the most exhilarating topic, but
Right.
very important.
Right.
How does Checker.ie make it a little bit more, I don't know, appealing?
Well, get this. They actually use a full Irish breakfast
Hmm.
as an analogy to break down the Irish pension system.
A full Irish breakfast. Okay, you have my attention.
Right.
I need to hear more about this.
Okay, so picture this. Your pension plan is a full Irish breakfast.
Okay.
Every part of that breakfast represents a different part of the pension system here.
That is genius. I'm not going to lie, that's actually a really clever analogy. It's relatable. Everyone loves a good fry-up. But talk me through it.
Okay.
What does each component represent?
Okay, so let's start with, the base of any good full Irish.
Okay.
Your toast and eggs.
Okay.
This is your state pension.
Okay.
The cornerstone of retirement income provided by the government.
So that's like your guaranteed base, right? The minimum you can expect to get when you retire. But what if you want a little bit more than just,
You got it.
toast and eggs?
That's where the second part of your breakfast comes in, which is the rasher of bacon.
Okay, the bacon.
This represents occupational pensions.
Okay.
These are pensions that are provided through your work.
Got it.
So this can really boost your income when you retire.
Okay, so if your employer offers a pension scheme, it's a no-brainer to sign up, especially if they match your contributions.
Yes, exactly. Free money for your future.
Exactly.
Okay, now for something a little different, black and white pudding,
Okay.
this represents the third part, personal pensions.
I'm telling you, this analogy is so clever. I love it.
Right.
What makes the personal pension unique in this breakfast spread?
So personal pensions are all about taking control of your own retirement savings.
Okay.
So you're not just relying on your employer or the state pension, you're taking charge.
Okay.
So this includes things like personal retirement savings accounts or PRSAs, those are really flexible, and retirement annuity contracts, or RACs, which are great for anyone who's self-employed.
So it's like adding your own personal flair to that standard breakfast, right? Making
Okay.
sure you have a little something extra to,
Exactly.
enjoy later on.
Exactly. And finally, what's a full Irish bakery without, well, sides?
Right, you gotta have your sides.
Think of this as your personal savings and investments.
Okay.
That's the fourth part of our little breakfast.
So we're talking about diversifying your investment portfolio, not putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Exactly. Just like having a balanced breakfast sets you up for a productive day, having a balanced retirement plan by using all four parts of this breakfast
Right.
can make sure that you can enjoy your retirement without having to worry about your finances.
Seriously, Checker.ie knocked it out of the park with this analogy.
I know.
It's informative and entertaining, and, that's not an easy thing to do when you're talking about pensions.
Not at all. It shows how committed they are
Yeah.
to making even complex topics easy to understand and, even fun.
Right.
But they also really embrace technology too.
Right.
They have a whole section on something called AI helpers.
AI helpers, now that's interesting. Tell me more. Are we talking robot butlers who will cook us breakfast?
Not quite, although that would be amazing.
Right.
So these AI helpers are basically trained models designed to give you personalized help with all sorts of things.
Oh, okay. So it's like having a team of little Digital experts at your fingertips
Exactly.
who can answer your questions and give you advice and all that.
Exactly. And they have different AI helpers for it's like different stuff. But one that stood out to me was the Psychology Unveiled model.
Psychology Unveiled. I'm listening.
Okay, so this AI is designed to give like empathetic and accurate info on all sorts of psychology stuff.
Yeah.
Think of it like a digital companion to help you, work through all the complicated parts of mental health and well-being.
So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or anxious, or you just like need someone to talk to, this AI could be like a safe space, like a resource.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's not a replacement for, seeing an actual therapist or anything,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a really good first step for people who maybe don't know where to turn.
Right.
And Checker.ie actually also has AI models specifically for businesses, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more about those. What kind of support do they offer?
Well, one thing they focus on is like sales and marketing.
Okay.
They have AIs that can, analyze what's going on in the market and figure out like, who your ideal customer is, that sort of thing, and even help you come up with like, whole marketing campaigns.
So it's like having a digital marketing consultant on call, like 24/7,
Totally. Yeah.
which would be huge for small businesses, startups, who don't have those big budgets.
Exactly. And those AI tools are getting more and more advanced all the time. For example, Checker.ie talks about this one that can analyze, the marketing stuff you're already putting out there, like your website, social media, even emails, and give you feedback and suggestions.
Wow, so it's like having like an AI editor, constantly making sure that your message is clear and it's reaching those right people.
Exactly. And honestly, that's what's so impressive about Checker.ie. They're not just like throwing information at you. They're actually finding really innovative ways to use technology to make that information, something you can actually use.
Right.
And that makes a difference.
It's like they've created this, like, I don't know, a tapestry almost of resources, right?
Yeah.
You've got practical advice, you've got expert insights, and then, this cutting edge technology all woven together. And it's all to help people in Ireland really thrive.
I couldn't say it better myself. It really shows that they're dedicated to, actually giving something valuable to the people who use their site.
Right.
And the fact that it's completely free is amazing.
That's amazing. It's so easy to get overwhelmed, I think, these days with how much information is out there online.
Yeah.
But what Checker.ie has done is, they've curated this trustworthy, user-friendly platform
Totally.
that cuts through all that noise and gives you something that's actually valuable and useful.
Yeah, they found that balance of like, covering a lot, but also going really in depth
Yes.
when they need to.
It's not just the surface level stuff, but it's easy to understand, it's engaging, it's fun.
Totally.
Well said. Checker.ie, folks, is a true gem. It just goes to show how powerful information can be when it's presented in a way that, it's easy to digest, that's engaging.
Absolutely.
That's empowering. If you are navigating life in Ireland and, maybe even looking to unlock a few of those cheat codes along the way,
A few cheat codes. I love that.
this website is definitely worth checking out, bookmarking it. So with that, we've come to the end of our deep dive into Checker.ie. Thank you so much to our amazing expert for sharing your insights. And of course, thank you to you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey of discovery. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into something new.